at $18,000 already. So it's just crazy, man.
It's gonna go. It's gonna go. I don't know how high, but I'm looking at in the 20s before it kind of slow a little. It could be more because again, like I said, we're in uncharted territory. This Definitely. Is what I always say in my videos. Now we're making history. This is a historical economic revolution. It is what it is, and it's technology and money all coming together, and the people. It's a combination of things, but. I wanted to ask first David Lyons, then I'll get to you, Mike. Dave wanted to say something.
Yeah, first of all, I just looked, I noticed, got somebody special on the call today. I see my son is on here.
Okay.
Darius Smith.
What's up, son?
All right, welcome.
Second of all, I want you to explain this futures trading with Bitcoin. Are they getting ready to start making derived prices of Bitcoin for them people to buy? What can you explain that? How does that work?
When you're trading futures, you're basically. Hold on. Could you kill that? There you go. Yeah, when you're trading futures, you're betting on what the future price of a product is going to be. You can bet down or you can bet up. It doesn't matter. It's just whatever you're predicting. If you're saying it's going to go down, you're buying that now, but you're buying actually the future price. So that's kind of how futures work. It's commodities work like that. When you're trading them, you're buying future contracts. They're not selling the Bitcoin. They're selling you a contract of a future value price. Pretty much how that works. Does that make sense?
Yeah, so that's why I'm like, is that like a derivative though?
No. Different than derivatives. Yeah, totally different. Derivatives are extremely confusing, and they do that for a reason, so you don't understand why you lost your money. So
and that's why I asked the question. That's exactly why I asked, because I'm like, okay, what they gonna just make up some prices now? Okay, Bitcoin is gonna be this.
Like for instance, when I was trading coffee, and I found out that there was a labor dispute in Colombia somewhere, and people were striking. So I would bet that next month the price is going to go up because it's going to affect the shipping because nobody's putting the coffee in the boxes and putting it on the freight. So that's futures. That's pretty much what they're doing. They're buying future contracts. And the good thing about futures that I like, I was trading currencies or coffee or orange juice, is that no matter whether it goes up or down, you can make money. It just all depends on your decision, that what you projected. Okay, so it's a lot of money for to be made, a lot of money on Bitcoins. But of course, that money, I don't know. Yeah, I guess Bitcoins will see that value, but a lot of brokers are gonna make a lot of money. That's what it is too. A lot of brokers are finding ways for them to make money in this space, and that's what they're doing. Wall Street denied the ETF of Bitcoin. It could get approved next time. Who knows? But again, when the ETF came last year, it was so frightening for them because it represents a rapid change. So, and again, people freeze up when they see something that's changing too fast for them. And they don't understand it, and they feel like it's going to disrupt what they're doing. So that's enough to make anybody kind of, freeze up a little bit. So go ahead, Mike. I see Mike got a question.
Yeah, it's more of a statement. The market is just so exciting right now. It's more like a couple of days ago when I was telling you about, like, with Venezuela opening their market for their own cryptocurrency based on their petroleum reserves. So I think for like 1,000, I don't know if they have the peso system on their currency. Like,
so you saying they backing their cryptocurrency with their petroleum?
Yep. And so for, I think 1,000, I don't know if it's 1,000 pesos, a bolivar, their monetary unit, I think it's like the equivalent of like $2.72. So it's like matter of fact, like when you said this almost about 8 months ago about reaching out to people like in Latin and South America, because they're looking for opportunities. See, and that's what I see.
Didn't I?
Yep, I remember.
Yeah.
See, and that's what's happening right now with Venezuela. Like, I think around the first quarter next year, even like Colombia, they're having a Bitcoin, a blockchain conference. And, like since Colombia's, I think they have the peso. Since their currency is tied to the dollar, they have been very resistant. But see, they're starting to change their minds because they see all this wealth being created, like what we're talking about. So we all have a chance to take part of that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just pretty much my thoughts on it.
Again, I don't want people on this team to think that they need a whole lot of money to do this stuff. You don't.
Right.
You got to get your feet wet. You do got to get engaged and start making some moves. Now, the Fam Wealth Network is a jump. You got to jump into that now because Bitcoin is the gatekeeper. If you got Bitcoin, you can pretty much trade any other coin. All coins are compatible with Bitcoin. If they're not compatible with Bitcoin, I would beware. Beware, 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 because that means it may be a closed network with that coin, like OneCoin and Billionaire Coin, all those other coins that are not on an exchange. So I would only want to mess with a coin that's on the exchange, a public exchange, and has an open network or blockchain. All those other coins, I don't even consider them anymore because how can I evaluate what it's worth if it's not open? I know when I was doing real estate appraisals, if I did a real estate appraisal on Travis's home, I had to go in his neighborhood and pick comparables. I had to find 3 comparable homes. There's 3 bedrooms like his, 2 baths, about the same square footage and stuff like that. And if I found the sale that, say, Antonio sold a house to his brother Mike Daniels, if I found a sale like that and it wasn't on the open market, an appraiser can't use that in the valuation of value. Why? Because I don't know what the mitigating factors are with Mike and his brother. They might have did a little quick inter-family sale just to get some money out the property, but it had no indication on the real true value. Okay? So the only way I can really evaluate a person's home is that I use all sales that are recorded and were listed on the MLS. Why? Because if it's listed on the public and the public is bidding on it, then that's a true indication of true value. That's the same attitude we got to take with these coins. If it's not on a public market, if they got some little closed occult organization that they're only allowing to buy the coin within their little occult, but it's not open to the public market, then we can't say that that coin is worth what these people are saying that coin is worth because we haven't tested it on an open market. So it's the same rule applies. And that's why I want to make sure that you guys understand that, because I got beat. Dave got beat. We've all got duped when we first started in this industry by coins that were supposed to be cryptocurrencies, and we're finding out they're just really a digital coin. That's all it is. It's a digital coin. And it's no proof really, but the only question of value or the only quoting of the value of those coins were from the owners of that company. Now, guess what? If I had a coin, I'll say, hey, my coin worth $1 million. But if you can't test my coin in an open market amongst buyers and sellers, you don't know what that coin is worth until somebody buys that coin for $1 million. You can't say your house is worth $1 million. You list your house for $1 million and nobody buys it. Then in 3 months, you drop it to $900,000. Nobody buys it. Then you drop it to $700,000. And now you're starting to get bites. That means that house is worth $700,000. You only know what a house is worth. You only know what something is worth when you list it in a public market. If it's not listed in a public market, then the value is screwed. It's conscrewed. It's misconstrued, or it's what you want to say. It's miscalculated in the sense of deception. It's misleading, pretty much. So you want to always make sure that you're dealing with coins that are on some exchange, public exchange, open exchange, that anybody can buy and sell that coin. And that's how we know what these coins are worth. We're not worried about the government. We're not worried about them saying, oh, Bitcoin is worth 18,000. I think Bitcoin didn't have the permission of the government to reach 18,000. I don't think Bitcoin had permission of a bank to reach 18,000. What is making Bitcoin worth 18,000? Somebody will buy a Bitcoin right now for 18,000. So
I sure will. I sure wish I could get me one before I get to 20. You know what I'm saying?
So it's the people that actually, create value, not banks. And this is something we've just learned. You know, what makes the American dollar powerful? The people. The people using it and believing that it has value. That's what makes it powerful. And they've also did a few little sneaky things, like they put gold. All the gold prices are predicated on USD, and all the oil prices around the world, I don't care where you're at, it's predicated on USD. That helps the dollar to stay strong, and people have confidence in the dollar, okay? But that's changing rapidly as you have China, Russia, I think Brazil, and who else? Is it India? They're all in Saudi Arabia, I think. BRICS. Who's BRICS? BRICS is Brazil, Russia, is it India and China? I don't know, Saudi Arabia's in there. They're all in cahoots to try to derail the U.S. dollar.
I think South Africa too.
South Africa, yeah, they're all in cahoots to try to change that, where the international valuation of gold is predicated on USD and oil. You got countries now that are signing bilateral contracts with one another to do oil without using USD. So things are changing, man, rapidly. So it's a great time, and it's a great thing that we recognize something different. And we recognize cryptocurrency, and we see the power of it, and it's actually empowering people. And that sounds like a good thing, but there's a lot of people that don't want the people to be empowered. They want themselves to stay in power, and you guys to just be smurfs, what they call serfs, or, peasants, pretty much. Just, working every day and miserable and barely making it and paying your taxes and just doing that. But it's a new day now, wealth is not discriminating now. Wealth is open to anybody who can read a book and who can pick up some information and study some information and utilize that information. Wealth is open to anybody with a hearing ear and a seeing eye and a diligent spirit to move forward with what it is that they're learning. We told the whole team, I see a lot of new people here, and I'm going to keep reiterating this, that the most, and I know you guys know this now, the most valuable commodity in the world is not gold. The most valuable commodity in the world is not Bitcoin. The most valuable commodity in the world is not silver or oil. The most valuable commodity in the world that's making cryptocurrency the biggest thing in the world is information and data. Information is the most powerful commodity in the world. The more you get, the more powerful you become. The more you get, the more wealthy you become. Because remember, and I don't want to go all religified on you, but we're going to talk about Solomon for a minute. King Solomon, according to several religious books, the Torah, the Bible, the Quran, King Solomon was one of the wisest men ever in the history of the major religions, okay? We're talking about 75% of the world is either Jewish, Christian, or Muslim, okay? There's like, I want to say about 3 billion people in the world are Christians, probably about 1.5 billion are Muslims, and then various religions. But I know that King Solomon is in most of your mainstream religious books. The wisest man ever in the history of religion, okay? And it's funny that he prayed for knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. He didn't pray for money like some of these kids. If they get 3 wishes by a genie right now, I would really like to be a fly on the wall to hear what some of these kids would wish for. It probably would just really make me laugh. I want a Bugatti. I want some 5 women. And I want, $5 million. You know, that's probably what they would, you know, ask for. But King Solomon asked for knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. And King Solomon ended up being one of the wealthiest kings ever in the history of kingdomship. Okay? Because of that, because of knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. So again, data, to me, information, has become and has always been really one of the most priceless commodities ever in the world. And so with that, you guys, if you really study, and I want Dave to kind of break that down a little bit. Dave, could you break down a little bit how Bitcoin and cryptocurrency is really information and data manipulated through encryption?
Because a Bitcoin transaction is really just a mathematical algorithm transmitted across electrical lines, and it's bytes of information. So when a miner puts like fees on your transaction, they charge you by the size of the transaction, like the bytes. So it's all just information going from one device to the next with value.
Wow. So we're trading information. Wow. 18,000 per Bitcoin. And that Bitcoin could be broken down to 100 million parts. And these Bitcoins are transacted in blocks of information. Wow. So that's very important that we understand that. The most expensive commodity today is information. And it's always been.
Hey, Manny, I just seen you put that up there. Yeah, I seen that today. For some odd reason today, local Bitcoins wasn't allowing people to register. And they had a date when you can register, and it's tomorrow. Now, does anybody know what happened today? Because also on Coinbase, I was trying to sign a friend of mine up with a wallet to get him some coins. He never got his email back from Coinbase. Is it a reason why you can't sign up to these things today? Do anybody know anything?
I can't say for sure, but my nephew was trying to sign up as well. And I think they're so overwhelmed with the new traffic coming in that it's just overwhelmed their system, and they can't get in or whatever. But I could be totally wrong.
Hey, Pay, I see you say stay away from Coinbase. We only use Coinbase. We only use Coinbase to receive, brother. Not to buy Bitcoins. But if I got a foreigner that's just coming in and they need some Bitcoins real quick to get into my program, Coinbase with your debit card. You know what I'm saying? But if I love you, if you my son or if you my cousin, no, go nowhere near Coinbase. I ain't even gonna allow it. Not to buy Bitcoins, you can receive all day. Just don't give them your ID.
Wow. Good information, Dave. Now, why were they not able to get on local Bitcoin today? I want to understand that.
I don't know, but when you go in there, it's a notice that says that you can't register today. You got to come back tomorrow.
They could be working on the site, anything. I mean, there's a lot of reasons.
The website was working fine.
Oh, it was?
Yeah, you just couldn't register.
Oh, that's interesting. Interesting. We got to watch out for that one. And see, this is the problem right now with the cryptocurrency space. We got a decentralized product, but we got all of these exchanges that are centralized. And it's hard to liquidate without kind of like divulging yourself. You know, I was speaking to a police officer today, and I was telling him, he was talking about Coinbase. I was like, I don't use Coinbase. And then he was kind of like, he jumped out there and said, oh, yeah, so you try to hide your taxes, huh? I said, no, I'm not telling you that. I would never say that. I'm talking to a police officer. Like, I would never tell you to avoid your taxes. I said, I'm just trying to get you to be in a position where you only have to pay your capital gains, because, of course, capital gains is a lot cheaper than personal taxes. But, you know, at the same time, you know, I'm just trying to keep you from getting hacked and stuff like that. The more information you have to divulge, the more you are subjected to being hacked. See, I got around that one. If you got to give out your social and all that stuff, you can be hacked, man. You know, if you can be identity theft. You know, I'm just trying to keep you and look out for you. You know, but we were, you know, he asked me a lot of questions about Bitcoin. A lot of people want to know about it. Police officers, it don't matter who they are. They are looking for a way to win. You know, and so I was speaking to two police officers today about cryptocurrencies, and It was funny how he just tried to say, oh, so you try to make people avoid taxes. No, man, I would never say that. I will never say that out my mouth. I'm just trying to teach people, you know, what it is. Knowledge is power. What it is and what it isn't. Okay? Silence is golden. How about that? Privacy is golden. I'm not telling you to do nothing. I'm just telling you guys to understand what it is, understand how they work, understand the game, rules of the game, the rules of engagement. And then you choose what you want to do and who you want to pay and how you want to pay. But anonymity is freedom. That's all I can say.
See how a newbie was even to know how to stay away from Coinbase and what Coinbase do, and the IRS, a newbie even knew.
Yeah, but I'm not gonna say he been studying. I know he been on it. I've been talking to Pay moving at God's speed. And that's cool because some people come into this and they just run. And that's how I did. That's how Dave did. We all came into this and it just started burning us up, man. It's like the information is addictive, man. You start learning this stuff and you just, you know, you become on fire with it, you know, because, you know, it's very interesting information that's not taught in the mainstream, and it challenges you to question existing financial institutions, and it challenges you to question what we think is secure and what we've been told is secure, and the whole functionality of money, and it's exciting, man, because we pretty much are creating our own financial destinies with what we're doing. We're creating our own financial destinies, and we were never taught that we could do that. We were never taught we could do that. You know, they teach you, go to school, get a job, and you're gonna live a great life. You're gonna have a picket fence and a white dog, and everything's gonna be great, you know? And it's just not the case anymore. You know what I mean? You gotta have 2 jobs, 5 degrees. Your wife gotta work 2 jobs. Hey, the dog might not eat because you're not home enough, and the kids are gonna suffer because mom and dad's not there to do homework. That's the reality right now. You know, you might keep a roof over your head, you know, but then again, if you get caught up one of them bad loans, they might accelerate your loan and you might lose your house. That's the reality right now. So you got to really re-educate yourselves. The knowledge and the system that I know in America, to me, has depleted itself. Everything's upside down, and you know, people are going to school, spending $300,000-$400,000 to get their education to come home and make $50,000, and half of that is taxes. So it's like, what the hell's going on here, you know? And then some people are spending $300,000-$400,000 and they're coming home to no job, and they got to be, you know, on the videos, or they got to now. I'm gonna be a rapper, but I got a master's. I'm gonna be a rapper. Well, you could have been a rapper without a master's. I'm not knocking a rapper, but I'm just saying things are upside down right now. You know, you got people this in the streets that selling items on the corner that make more money than people who have a quote unquote good job. So things are kind of upside down right now, you know? So you just gotta reinvent yourself. Like I said, I think that it takes a lot of courage to do that, because in order to reinvent yourself, you gotta first realize something wrong. you gotta admit, man, my stuff is not working right now. Things are not working for me. Why is it not working? Why is my life not working the way I need it to work? And then if you got enough courage to acknowledge that, only then could you start to transcend. And it's pretty much the same way in anger management, drug classes, all those stuff. They make you acknowledge the problem first. And if there's no acknowledgement of the problem, even a psychiatrist is not going to acknowledge your problem. He might drop hints to try to get you to pick up, oh my God, that's a problem for me. But he's not going to tell you, because if he has to tell you, then you didn't learn that. So, and that's the same way that the Buddhists think. Their attitude is, if you don't find the path, you don't know the path. If I show you the path, then you still don't know the path. You have to find the path. And that's pretty much where we're at right now. We're defining ourselves, redefining ourselves. And I listen to Travis talk, man. He sounds like a rocket scientist or something, man, when I listen to that guy talk. And when I listen to Dave talk sometimes, I'll be like, oh, what that mean? You know, I have to kind of double check my ears. And you guys speak with such eloquence on financial levels, and you guys are matriculating like Harvard graduates and Yale and Stanford, Cornell, you know, people in economics. And like you said, he just learned this stuff 2-3 months ago. But when you go on certain books and you read certain books or take certain economic classes, they make this stuff sound so difficult. They make it sound so hard. And that's why I like individuals who can speak plainly and say profound things. You know, the Dalai Lama is the Dalai Lama because of his in-depth knowledge, but he can say things very plainly that is profound. But these professors and all these economic quote unquote gurus, they try to matriculate all these different, you know, big words, and nobody knows what they're talking about. To me, that's not an intelligent person. That's a person that wants to be more intelligent than everybody else and wants to look better than everybody else and wants to belittle everybody else. The most intelligent persons to me are the people who can say plain, simple things and say profound things in the simplest manner, or can take complex things and bring it all the way down to a layman's level. To me, that's the most profound persons. To me, not the person trying to impress everybody. He's trying to lose you in his words so you can go to him and say, I didn't understand that. Oh yeah, you know, he wants to lose you. That's not really impressive to me. And what's impressive to me is when you speak the language of the people. If you're talking to some pimps, you need to talk their language. You're talking to some drug dealers, some street dudes, you need to learn how to talk their language. If you're talking to some educated people, you need to learn how to talk their language. So if you need to talk the language of the people that you're trying to relay your message to, that's an intelligent person to me. You know, because some people just speak on this level and they don't, you know, they don't want you to get it. And that's what's been going on for so many years. So with that, you guys, anybody have any questions with what's going on right now or how to get in? And we're still doing the Fam Wealth Network. It's going real good right now. Again, the payout is $700 and something to get into the Fam Wealth Network, where you guys have purchased 0.046 Bitcoins. And once 14 positions, not 14 people, because an individual can buy as many positions as they want. So 14 positions cycle you out. And I want to continue to reiterate what cycle means. Cycle means get paid. Cycle means your whole matrix fills up. It's only 14 positions under you. So when we say cycle you out, we mean pay you out in layman's term. So after 14 positions fall under you, you get paid out or cycled out at 40. Let me see what it is right now. This is incredible payout. It's like 580% return on investments. It's just stupid. Let me see, 0.046, which is, let me see, 750. And then we have 0.26 is what you get paid out at or cycled out. Right now, that is an astounding $4,200 in U.S. value. But I don't want you guys to get confused with U.S. value, because I had somebody call me today, and my cousin asked me the same question. He said, okay, how is that going to affect the companies paying out because Bitcoin went up? Yes, it did go up in U.S. value, but we still giving 0.26 Bitcoins. It don't matter if that's 10,000, if 0.26 is 5,000 in American dollars. It doesn't matter if the 0.26 is 7,000 in American dollars. We're still giving 0.26. The Bitcoin amount doesn't change. The 0.046 entry is what it is. Now, if that's 5,000 American dollars, then that's the American dollar value. But in Bitcoins, you still have to present the same amount of Bitcoin to get into this company, and you're still going to get rewarded the same amount of Bitcoin. 0.26 is basically 1/4 of a Bitcoin. You do 4 of those cycles, you got a whole Bitcoin. We've already given out 21 Bitcoins with this company. And I know that when I first started this journey, there were several people who I gave $10 to over the phone right here on a webinar. And I had them put their phone up like this, and I sent them $10 worth of Bitcoins. I might have did 20 people like that.
Me.
Dave, Joe, I did Joe like that. And now I'm sitting here going, oh my God, I might have gave out about $5,000 right now. Because
I can't get it back either, bro.
Hey, bro, I gotta get that. You gotta give me that $10 back.
I used it already.
Hey, look,
we gotta give you the value for today.
I know the U.S. value. No, I want my Bitcoin back. I'm gonna look at my blockchain and see how much Bitcoin I sent y'all, and I want that back. How about that? That's like $150. Now,
It's funny because I did the same thing, Eric. I did the same thing, and I just went and did a check of everybody's $10 to see how much it's worth. And excuse me, their $10 is worth $175 right now.
damn. And see, I gave my daughters $20 of Bitcoins when it was 4,000. So they called me yesterday and was like, "Did you give me some more Bitcoin?" I said, "No, you still got the same amount. It's just the price went up." You know, but again, like I said, I'm just using an illustration of you guys of how you want to count Bitcoin, not money. You want to count Bitcoin. You know, you get somebody, if you loan somebody, I know Travis was talking about loaning. If you guys loan somebody 0.53 Bitcoins, okay, and they say, "Oh, that's let me see. Let's say somebody say, "Oh, you gave me," this is what they're gonna tell you. Don't fall for this one. They're going 0.53 Bitcoin. It's 8,600. Dang. Half a Bitcoin is half a Bitcoin is 8,600, Dave. Oh my God. Okay, look. So we have a position in the family cash machine, the Family Wealth Network, for 0.21 Bitcoin. After you cycle on the first level, you can upgrade to the second level. Still have that position on the first level. It never goes away. And your next cycle will be a half a Bitcoin. That's 8,000. Wow. So look, $8,000. And somebody says, "Well, Travis, I'm gonna give you 8,000, man. I owe you 8,000. No, I don't want no 8,000. Well, man, you gave me 8,000. No, I didn't. I gave you 0.53 Bitcoin. I want my 0.53 Bitcoin. I don't care if it's 10,000. I want 0.53 Bitcoin. I'm not counting American dollars. How about that? I want my Bitcoins. And that's how we got to look at this thing. Stop counting American dollars. Now, it's cool that it's going up and we looking at, man, to have a Bitcoin is 8,000, but count Bitcoin. Learn to count Bitcoin. So if you loaning people Bitcoin, you need to receive Bitcoin, not money. Okay? That's how we get miscombobulated, because we're so used to counting USD. No, we're going to count Bitcoin. And that's why I'm saying no matter what the cycler does, it's sustainable. Because the percentages is the percentages, the Bitcoin is the Bitcoin. No matter what the American dollar is. If the money goes up with the cycler, it doesn't negatively affect the company because we're still making Bitcoins. And you guys are still making Bitcoin. So that's how it's working. And we can always create smaller packages. Like right now it says $700. We're not going to change it yet. But as it gets too out of control, if it gets to 1,000, which it may get to 1,100 entry, we might have to create a smaller one, but I'm trying to wait until it kind of slow down a little bit, and not just keep going too high, too fast. It's going to eventually slow down a little. I don't think it's going to just keep shooting the way it is. I just don't see it forever, but it's going to slow down. But the slowdown period might only be 2 months, a month or 2 months before it starts taking off again. Because again, what's driving the price is consciousness. More and more people find out about it. The more the company gets branded, Bitcoin, 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 the more people come on these calls like this and start using it. Usability is going to create value. Because one thing you can't do is create more supply. It's a simple supply and demand issue. Okay, the supply cannot keep up with the demand. And as the demand gets higher and higher and higher and more demand, and we can't just pop Bitcoins up like that when it comes to mining, then, it's going to create value increases. And that's what's going on. So more people want to get involved in it. That's what's happening. No matter what the news is saying and all that, people want to get in because they see people making money. You can say all the bad stuff you want to say. When you see people making money, you want to get in. You don't block all that other stuff out because I see my friend making money. And that's pretty much, huh? So that's what's going on.
I was saying, I agree. I agree.
So you guys, anybody have any questions about the cycler? Go ahead, Manny.
What exactly is a force matrix? Could you explain that,
Sure,
please?
that's a good question. A force, like in most companies, when they say, okay, you got to bring 2 people in, or you got to bring 2 people in. what happens is on a forced matrix is people are forced to fall under you, whether you brought them in or not. Now, in a regular network marketing, you got to go recruit all these people and physically fill up your damn matrix. So that means you got to go get 14 people. They're not going to fall up under you. Every person that's recruited by a person is going to be attached to that person. We didn't want to do that. We wanted to do a forced matrix because we feel like everybody that put their money in deserves a chance to get paid, period. And the family is a family. We're going to all share all of the momentum and traffic that's coming in. No matter where it falls where it fits in. Get in where you fit in. So if I'm doing a lot of recruiting and you're doing not that much, they have no choice but to cycle me out and then fall under you. They're not going to just keep falling under me. They're going to fall wherever they come in at, whatever links that you use. You can use a link, but you may use a link that's not attached to me, but it might be attached to Dave, or it might be attached to Pay, or it might be attached to Mike. It's attached to somebody because it all starts from the top and comes all the way down to these different matrices. And like I was showing you guys yesterday, everybody is under somebody. Even me, you know what I mean? We all under somebody because the administration panel started first. Then I fell in, then somebody else, and somebody else, and somebody else. Then I cycled. Then I fell in again, somebody else. And it just kept, we were rotating. All we're doing is rotating turns, getting paid. Everybody's getting a chance. Everybody's getting a turn, getting paid. And the money just keep rotating, and we keep bringing new money in too, and then we keep rotating that, and then we get them new people in the circulation, and it just keeps going. Then you guys cycling, then more new people come in, they cycle, then you cycle, and it just keep going, And that's why it's good to have multiple positions so you can benefit from different people's matrices. And like Manny might be recruiting crazy, and so I might want to plant a couple of men over there in his cycle so I can benefit from those cycles over there too. And that's just how that's working. Does that make sense, Manny? Force matrix?
It makes complete sense. I really appreciate it.
Force into your matrix.
Right.
Whether you recruited them or not.
All right. I appreciate that. Makes sense.
Okay, any other questions? All right, you guys, it's been a pleasure. It's always a pleasure. And again, it was a delight, Travis, to hear you speak, man, and talk. And we all came from nothing, and now we're all speaking a very eloquent, sophisticated financial language, and I'm loving it. I'm loving it because I think this is necessary. Even in the church, we got to learn economics, man. We have to, because it's hard to be righteous. How can you be righteous if you don't have no food? I mean, not only will you steal, you get hungry enough, you might kill. So economics to me is as important as spirituality. I don't hold economics over spirituality, no, because I think that the mind and energy is more important in spirituality than money. There's certain things you just can't buy. But at the same time, if you don't have economics, then it's hard to follow the rules. It's hard to follow the law. It's hard to follow the Bible. It's hard to follow anything if you can't eat, man. I mean, it's just serious. It's just simple mathematics. So I think that that's very important to our everyday lives, and we're talking about it every day. Not only talking about it, we're doing it, we're understanding it, and we're teaching more people. I can't wait to see Travis talk to other people. And I think all of you guys are kind of like, wow, when you guys heard him talk, he sounded like a professor. And like I said, he hasn't been here that long, but he's doing his research, his study, and guess what? That information that he has, that's what's going to attract people to him. It's not the cycler. It's not him saying, oh, this coin is the best coin ever in the world. You want to get this coin right here. Oh, my God, this coin has the best technology. They're not really listening to that. They're going to be listening to the information that he has about the industry, and they're going to get excited about the future of the industry and the technology thereof, and then they'll buy that coin. You see how that works? And they're listening to him, and they're impressed, like, wow. And then they may even ask him some questions, and then when he fills in the gaps of things that we all have gaps from our mistraining and understanding of money. And when he fills those gaps in for them, they're going to be like, wow, that makes them to trust him more now. Now they're trusting him, and then you can't help but like him unless you're just a hater. Haters are going to hate. They're going to hate. They're going to hate you if you're too beautiful. They're going to hate you if you're too smart. They're going to hate you if you're too rich. I mean, that's just what they do. It's a full-time job. But, But with that, you guys, We're going to go ahead and get off the call, man. This is a Family Cash Machine. This is Erick Brent. And hey, team, keep doing the good work, man. We're going to change the world, and we're going to change our lives forever with this cryptocurrency. And the goal is to create not money, but generational wealth. That's where we're going. Okay, you guys. So you guys have a great evening.
Peace and blessings to everybody.
Peace.
Peace and
All
blessings.
right, peace, everybody.
All right.
Y'all already.